You might have rare DNA and not know it. This frog didn't know either. For a long time, this frog thought everything was normal. Mosquitoes didn't bite much. Sleep felt different. Some smells felt way too strong. But it was easy to ignore. Easy to say, it's probably nothing. Until it wasn't. Because when you start paying attention, patterns appear. And once you see them, you can't unsee them. So let's slow this down. Habit 1. What most people miss. Most of us assume we're the same. Same body, same reactions, same limits. But that's not true. Some of us are running slightly different systems. Small genetic differences that change how we experience the world. Not enough to notice immediately, but enough to shape how we live. And the strange part is, these signs don't look special. They look normal. Until you compare. Habit 2. Mosquitoes don't touch you. You've probably seen this before. You're outside with friends. Everyone's swatting, scratching, getting annoyed, and you're just sitting there, nothing. At first, you think it's luck, but it keeps happening. Here's what's actually going on. Mosquitoes don't choose randomly, they follow signals. Body heat, carbon dioxide, and most importantly, scent. If your body produces less of the chemicals they're attracted to, you don't stand out. You don't become lucky. You become invisible to them. So if this keeps happening to you, it's not coincidence. Your body is sending a different signal. Habit 3. You don't really have body odor. This one surprises people. After a long day, after sweating, after everything, there's barely any smell. Not because of hygiene, not because of effort, because your body works differently. There's a gene linked to how your sweat glands function. If that gene expresses a certain way, your body produces less of the compounds that bacteria feed on. Less bacteria activity means less odor. And there's a small clue most people miss. If your earwax is dry instead of sticky, there's a high chance your body odor is naturally low too. Strange connection. But your body leaves hints everywhere. Habit 4. You smell everything. Now this one feels different. You walk into a room and immediately notice something changed. A scent no one else reacts to, a detail no one else mentions, and you start wondering, is it just me? It's not. Some people have a heightened sense of smell. Your receptors are more sensitive, picking up signals others filter out. You notice the detergent, the air, the leftover food from hours ago. It can feel like awareness, but it can also feel overwhelming because when your system is more sensitive, everything is louder. And sometimes it's not just about smell. It's about how your brain processes input in general. Habit 5, you don't need much sleep. Most people struggle to function without 7 or 8 hours, but maybe you've had nights where you slept 5 and still felt clear, focused, awake, functional, not wired, not exhausted, just normal. Some people have genetic variations that allow the brain to enter deep sleep faster. The recovery process becomes more efficient, so you don't need as much time. But here's the part we have to be careful with. Just because you can function with less sleep doesn't mean you should ignore rest. Efficiency is not immunity. Your system is different, not invincible. Habit 6. You feel things differently. Let's talk about something deeper. Pain. We usually think of pain as something to avoid, something negative. But what if you didn't feel it the same way? There are rare cases where people don't process pain normally. The signal doesn't register the same. It sounds like a superpower. Until you realize what pain actually does. Pain tells you when something is wrong. Without it, you don't stop. You don't protect yourself. So what feels like an advantage can quietly become dangerous. And this doesn't stop at physical pain. Some of us experience emotional intensity differently too, either stronger or strangely muted. And both can shape how we connect with the world. Habit 7. You remember too much. Have you ever noticed this? You remember conversations others forgot, details that no one else brings up, moments that feel like they happened yesterday, even if it's been years. At first, it feels like awareness, like you're just more attentive. But over time, it can feel heavy because memory doesn't filter evenly. You don't just remember the good things, you remember everything. And that means your mind is constantly active, connecting, replaying, analyzing, and sometimes that makes it harder to let go. Habit 8. You taste things strongly. Food is not the same for everyone. Something that tastes normal to others might feel overwhelming to you. Too bitter, too sharp, too intense, and you might have been told you're picky. But what if you're not? Some people have more sensitive taste receptors, especially for bitter compounds. So your experience is literally different. You're not reacting more, you're sensing more. And over time, that shapes your preferences, your habits, even your lifestyle. Habit 9. Your body is stronger than you think. Now, this one is less obvious. You might not notice it unless something happens. A fall, an impact, something that should hurt more, but doesn't. Or doesn't cause damage the way you expect. Some people have higher bone density due to specific genetic variations, stronger structure, more resistance. It doesn't make you invincible, but it does mean your body handles stress differently. And sometimes that resilience shows up in ways you don't immediately recognize. So, what does this mean? If you look at all of these together, something becomes clear. These aren't random traits, they're patterns, signals that your system is slightly different, not broken, not better, just different. And once you understand that, the way you see yourself starts to shift. You stop comparing as much. You stop forcing yourself into systems that don't fit. And you start noticing what actually works for you. Instead of asking, what's wrong with me? You start asking, how does my system actually work? Because that's where everything changes. When you understand your body, you stop fighting it. When you understand your patterns, you stop judging them. And when you understand your differences, you start using them. We don't need to become someone else. We need to understand who we already are. And that takes awareness. It takes paying attention to small signals most people ignore. So if even one of these felt familiar to you, just one, don't dismiss it. Don't brush it off. Because sometimes the smallest differences explain the biggest questions. Your body has been communicating with you this whole time. Not loudly, but consistently. And maybe now you're finally starting to listen.